Okay, so once you've created the logos that you've wanted, and these are just some logos that I've created for different things, and including myself. Um, Once you've created them and you've tried multiple times, so it's a matter of brainstorming and uh, getting down to the final pieces. When you're ready to turn them in, you want to lay them out, or the different variations so that they can be easily critiqued. So you want to have like your best ones kind of laid out with some ideas and have them numbered so that when people give feedback, they could say, oh, number one's working really well. And then if I had to choose three, it would be, which numbers that would go with them. Um, you want to keep multiple versions of the file. And what that basically means is you always want to have that one file that has the editable ones as text, so I could go in and change the different fonts to try out different examples. But I also want to have a version that I can actually print or send in or turn in without having to worry about the fonts piggybacking on them. And what that means is that you want to convert in that turn in or have a version that you do a save as and make sure that all of the text would be converted, like this guy here. I'd want to take that and convert it and create outlines. And the reason I do that is because if I do that, let's say I create that as outlines, and whichever ones that are in here, and I want to do that because now if I save this Illustrator file, the pluses are that I don't have to worry about the person viewing the AI file, that they don't have the the font installed on their computer if I've used a special font that I either purchased or found and didn't include it. And for me, as the instructor, this means that you can turn it in, I can look at it and see it, your AI files, without having that font installed. It could have been like a very specialized, stylized font that you chose. The downside, of course, is the fact that you won't be able to edit this version, which is why you do a save as, so that you always have your original that you can go in and edit and change without having to redo the whole logo. So once you've actually done that, and then you could just change the date to whatever is appropriate. So if I actually changed this and then change the date, then I just do a save as. Then I know that this guy is now compatible. Oops, and here we have it here. Yep, that all looks good. Just save it as default. And I know that anybody with Illustrator would be able to open this up and they don't have to worry about the issue of what fonts they have installed on their machine. So you want to keep the original. You probably will have one like some of these where I have like a ton of them on there and I'm going over all of these different um, variations to see what I think pops out, what looks best, changing colors, um, kind of tweaking out the letters to see what that looks like, kind of like that. And then whatever different variations you finalize, you pick your 8, set it up, name it, put your, what it is, name and date, save it up, and do a save as. Now, the other option, or the other way you could save it, so this is an AI file that would be open in Illustrator. But if I'm going to post this um, up on a web page or a turn-in where we're just looking at images, then I'd also want to take and do um, an export. So if I do an export, say for web or export for screens, this is where you'd actually do or save a copy. And then I'd have to choose, okay, these aren't going to work, right? For a standard web page. So I have to save this out as an actual image and make it so that it'll actually work on a web page or as a post up as like a JPEG or a PNG or something like that. So I could do an export as, and here is where I would choose what format I would want. So JPEG or PNG would probably work. If it's going to print, you'd want a Targa, a TGA. JPEG is a good compression, and everything pretty much reads a JPEG, so you don't have to worry about compatibility. And so I would just go right into there, export, and it will pull up this little menu here. So then we could just say, oh, quality. I want maximum quality. I don't want it to fall apart. Since this is actually, sometimes you have to test it out because we don't want it to pixelate. When you're going with print, you'd actually increase this. This is basically, I believe this one is screen size, but if I wanted to make sure, I could actually go in and boost it up so it's a higher resolution so we could see the detail. High quality would be pretty, it might be a fairly big file. Let's see if we do medium, and then we said OK. You notice it's right there. I'm just going to cheat a little bit, and I'm just going to right click on this and just say open. And since it's a JPEG, it just pops it up into here. And as we look at this, we can see that's actually pretty good resolution just as is. That's actually working pretty nice for what we need. Okay. Oops, I forgot. If I actually zoom in, it's not too bad. It's good enough to preview on it, and that's what we're basically trying to do is preview this to see what it looks like. And so that looks pretty good. So I like that. Export it out, add a medium, high quality, but at 150 pixels per inch, just so we could see it. So it's going to be bigger, but that's all right. We're supposed to see the quality. If you do 300, it's a JPEG. It's only one page. I'm not going to complain about it. And especially if your logos look like they're falling apart, then definitely do it at 300. That's totally fine, and we'll take a look at those.